Let's talk about the athletic blue belt test. So this is a concept that I first heard about when I was listening to Eddie Cummings talk about one method that he uses to determine if a move or a technique or a strategy is worth pursuing, which is to test it out on an athletic blue belt. Now, this video is primarily for purple belts and higher. However, some blue belts that have a decent amount of experience, you guys might find this test to be useful as well to decide what you want to work on. But this is primarily for more advanced ranks. So what is the test? The test is if I have a move that I'm working on and I can get it to work on an athletic blue belt, that means it's something that's potentially worth pursuing. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be part of my A game. Doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to find an easy counter to it that is going to make me divest from it. But it's something that's worth now trying out on the higher belts, and it's a great way to introduce new moves into your game. If it does not work in an athletic blue belt, it's almost certainly not something that's worth pursuing unless you can find a way to modify it to make it work on that athletic blue belt. Because if it's not working on a blue belt, guys, it's not going to work on a black belt, straight up. It doesn't matter if they're an athletic blue belt, if they're much stronger, bigger than you. If it's not working against them and, you know, it's just not modifiable in a way to make it work, then you're not going to be able to do it against a more advanced rank that has a more intricate defensive game. And it's probably not something worth pursuing. You should move on to other things, right? We want to be productive with our time, and we want to spend our time on learning moves that actually work. So this is a great initial test to see if a move works and if it's worth pursuing. Now, for white and blue belts, most of you guys, you should work on pursuing proven techniques, things that your instructor is teaching you, things that you've seen work at a high level, but that are basic moves, right? You can't get a really, really solid game without having good foundation. So you need the foundational skills, the foundational moves of Jiu-Jitsu first, and you need to be proficient with them before you move on to the more advanced fancy stuff, because guess what? The more advanced fancy stuff relies on you having a good grasp of the basics as well. So for white and blue belts, make sure you guys stick to that. Make sure you guys stick to the basics, stick to the moves your instructor is teaching you. But for purple and up, this is a very useful test for you guys to see if something is worth pursuing and adding to your game. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure you smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you next time.